Your blonde bombshell here with you. As most of you know, and some of you that don't know, my grandfather this week on Monday, this previous week I should say, um, he was acting fine until about lunchtime, and he had told me then when he picked me up at 2 o'clock, my lunchtime, that at 1 o'clock he was having cold chills and shivers, and it had started in, and he didn't know what was starting in, but he just was not feeling like himself. So during my lunch hour, I was conversing with my grandma, and I happened to notice that he went to his bedroom, my grandfather did, and he laid down on his bed, and he was just shaking and quivering, and he didn't want an ambulance called, but my mother thought that it would be a wise idea if we did call the ambulance. So we did. Dunn's ambulance service came out. I didn't think that this part was wise. They walked him from the bedroom through the living room down our front, over the front porch and down the front steps, and then got him on the gurney to put him in the ambulance. There was no lights on the ambulance. They drove the speed limit all the way out to the hospital. Not very impressed. I was only a car length behind, and I kept up with him all the way to the hospital, so much in fact that when he got there, the lady was like, "So are you here with for your grandma?" You know, usually grandma's out there, never grandpa. And I was like, "No, this time it's my grandfather." And I was a car length behind. They weren't in any hurry. And from what I could tell, there was nobody in the back of the ambulance with him either, which I found very shocking. But anyway, after 4 long hours in the ER, and 4 agonizing hours, I should say, they ran every test in the book, and they admitted him for an overnight stay at first. We didn't really know what we were looking at, other than he had a high fever of 103, cold chills, shivers, going to the bathroom frequently, and then we found out he had a bacterial infection, and then he had blood in his urine, and it's very hard for me to say this. So then they thought he had heart problems. Then what ended up being, it was supposed to be a week stay, ended up being a 2-day stay because he told them on Wednesday, "I am going home." So he ended up going home Wednesday against doctor's wishes, but we're on the strongest medicine that you can be on, and he has to take it every other day. He goes back next week to see Dr. Michael in high hopes that this infection is out of his system. I'm grateful that he got to come home and spend Thanksgiving with his wife of 71 years, and I'm sure that that's one of the driving forces of him wanting to come home, was he couldn't wait to see her, let alone spend the holiday with her. And I think that was a wise choice and decision. Did we spend Thanksgiving together? No. They didn't feel like celebrating, and so they spent the day here at the house, and my mom, my stepdad, dad, and stepdad, dad, same thing, you know. And my 2 nieces, we all met up here at the Mattoon Cracker Barrel, and we had dinner at a very early time because my niece Taylor had to go to work. And then, which Grandpa paid for the dinner. And then after that, I went and picked up some mail Depends for him, that's a new experience in itself, let me tell you. Picking those up because I actually didn't know what size. I had to ask him before I left, what size am I looking at, and all this stuff. He's used them 1 time, so I think that it shows that he's made great strides in improvement of health. Like I said, they did think it was his heart, and that scared us greatly. So we are just lucky and blessed to have him here. I'm not too much in the Christmas spirit tonight, but I've got a lot of requests from all of you out there, and I'm going to do my best to do 1 singing video tonight. And I don't know when I'm going to get to all of your requests, let alone your blonde bombshell questions. But tonight I will do 1 singing video to kick off the holiday season as it is. Like I said, I'm not in the holiday spirit this year. But stay tuned. That singing video is up next.